So we have 3 functions so far, and we just have one more, and this one's slightly more complicated, but shouldn't be too hard. Oh, and we also have the reverse one, so we could also do that. So let's build the reverse one first. So we'll actually call this a drive with rotations. So we'll void drive with rotation. And then in here, we're going to have a few parameters. Firstly, we're going to have the number of rotations. So that'll be an int num rotations, comma. And now we're going to have another parameter, and this is going to be int speed. And that's in percentage. So then we have our open bracket, closing bracket. And inside here is going to be where we actually put the code. So this is going to be the reverse code. But where do we change? Where do we put these? So the num rotations is actually going to go in here, and speed is going to go in here. Now, you could make this even more complicated by adding by separating this. So you have a num rotations and speed for the left and a num rotations and speed for the right. For this particular program, though, we can just keep it like this because it's drive straight with rotation, really. So that's what we'll call it, drive straight with rotation. Then we'll copy this, and I'll replace the reverse code here with drive straight with rotation, but then we'll pass in the -30 and the 10 as our properties that go into the function. And then we have another reverse here, drive straight with rotation. You're noticing how simple our code is starting to look. Now that we've built all the work here, the main code actually ends up looking really nice and clean. All right, hopefully it still backs up properly. Let's double check that. So we're going to run it. Let's see how it goes. So it's going to go, 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 go. It's going to bump. It backs up, turns, good. That's perfect. So the last one, the last one and you could build other functions, but the last one that I recommend is the actual sensor drive. So we go drive with sensor. And this one doesn't really need parameters aside from the speed. So we'd go int speed. And then we have our brackets. And then we take this code, copy it, paste it in here, and then the speed is going to end up going in here in the speed that we set for the spinning. The sleeping is still going to stay the same. And then we just take this and we replace this part with the drive with sensor and give it the speed that we want. We want to go at a speed of 10. And then you have to find the other part, which is here, drive with sensor. And now you can see how the code is actually organized. We can see each step. And let's run it. Hopefully it all works together. So it should start by driving forward with the sensor. And then it's going to switch to stopping motors. Then it's going to drive straight backwards. Then it's going to turn, drive forward again. Perfect. So now that we have this, we can actually finish our program simply by, and we can actually take these comments and put them on the side. And then this would be like first straight away. And then this is the reverse. And then stop. first turn to the right, and then we have a stop. This is stop before turning, and this is stop after turning. And then this is the next section. So we have drive forward to the second wall, stop at the wall, this is second wall, reverse, and then this is stop before turning, and this is second turn to the left, and this is stop after turning. So now we have part 1 and we have part 2, and we can actually take all of this and make a part 3, because it's also turning to the left with the exact same code again. So it turns to, it's turning left here, it's going to turn left here. And so let's test it. So now it should drive forward. All I did is I just shortened this out so that it wasn't taking up so much space. So now it's going to drive to the next wall. This is the second wall, reverse, and now it'll drive to the next wall, reverse, turn, and there we go. So I can, now that these are separated, I can tweak them a little bit. So if I want the reverse to be less, for example, maybe this reverse is going to be less, I can do that. And then, well, what do you think the next one's going to be? Well, it's a right turn. So we take the first one, and we know that that's what we need for right turns, so we copy and paste it there. And rinse and repeat. So basically, that is how you get through the walls. And then what you're going to have to do is figure out a way to utilize the functions that have already been written here, whether it's the driving with sensor or driving straight or stopping the motors or turning left or right. How do you get it to get to here? And then how do you get it to stop for a second? And then how do you get it to go over the jump and then end here? Those are the last little tricks. But once you have all these functions, it should be pretty easy. Now, that's basically it for this video series. The last video is basically all just going to be about commenting and how to do proper industry standard comments. So if you want to take a look at that when you're, you can either watch that video after you finish coding everything, or you can check it out and be kind of doing it as you code, as you go. So it's up to you what you want to do, but I highly recommend that you take a look at it before you hand in your project so that you can make sure that your comments are nice and clean. All right, thanks for watching.